Welcome to a Community Partners interview where we explore the organizations, opportunities, and resources that look to make change in our daily lives. I'm your host, Paige Whitehouse, and you're listening to Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time. Today I'm joined by Jonathan Robb, the Chief Executive Officer of Center for Autism Services Alberta. The Center for Autism Services Alberta, CFASA, is a nonprofit organization that provides programs and services that span every stage of life from early childhood to adulthood, helping autistic individuals build skills, connect with their communities, and achieve their goals. They partner with autistic individuals, families, schools, and community organizations to create meaningful opportunities, break down barriers, and promote a society that embraces neurodiversity. Thank you for joining us today, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity and having me, Paige.
For our first question today, tell us a bit more about yourself and what inspired you to work at the Center for Autism Services Alberta. Why work with individuals with disabilities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's many reasons. The first really is I served Norquest College, which is one of Alberta's largest community colleges, and I was overseeing the student services area and really found my learning journey on the learners with accommodation, or what we called accessibility services, formerly disability services area, quite interesting and just really rewarding. And I was a vice president there at the college, worked there for 14 years in various progressive roles. And I wanted to kind of look for opportunities kind of in the C-suite and found, just haphazardly actually found the Center for Autism Services Alberta. Had no idea what they did, how big they were, exactly, but they were looking for a new top person after 17 years of service with my predecessor. And the more I dug into the organization, the more I became attracted to it and their mission, vision, values. And so I threw my name in the hat, and the rest is history, really. It's been an amazing, I would say, love affair since joining in January, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's a phenomenal organization, and I just think we can do so much more with more, and through partnerships with others. So it's really it was a little bit haphazard and just right timing as well, with my predecessor retiring from the workforce after some amazing years of service. So.
Oh, well, that's awesome. And while doing some research, I saw that you have a couple of programs and services that you have. Can you tell us a bit more about what those programs and services entail?
Yeah, you bet. So we are one of the largest autism service providers in the province of Alberta. We have, what's really sets us apart is our programs and services for autistic individuals and their families include services for children as early as 2+. With our independent school and in pre-kindergarten, kindergarten. Both in Edmonton and in Calgary, as well as we have programs for youth, teens, adults, and really families and professionals as well. And so it really touches the whole lifespan. We've even provided in-home services to an elderly gentleman in his home about 3 months ago. So we do the whole lifespan, as well as just various, I would say, specialized programs through specialized services that we offer, behavioral development supports, skill building group programs, and really looking at individuals and their families as a whole, realizing that this can be a lonely journey for parents, guardians, and caregivers, but also for individuals that might be diagnosed later in life and just trying to understand some of the strategies that they can put in place to provide themselves with an opportunity to flourish as unique individuals. Yeah. And we also do training to employment through our Employment Works program, which is our only federally funded program through the Sydney Family Foundation and the Government of Canada.
I heard you mention something about in-home services. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so our specialized services team, they can go into individuals' homes, and a lot of them do, quite frankly. So although we have two kind of infrastructure locations in Edmonton and 2 in Calgary, where individuals can come in and receive various programs and services. We also do an outreach kind of into people in their homes, recognizing that various individuals prefer those in-home services, to prefer to learn or receive those services in the comfort of their own premises. And so those can be customized to and are customized with individuals. So whether they're working with speech language pathologists, an occupational therapist, one of our behavioral experts. So there's a real range and diversity of individuals that we can tap into for in-home services. And so psychologists, and that's the one amazing thing about the Center for Autism Services Alberta is the diversity of the professionals that I work with. It's as you've probably heard, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, and the needs can vary greatly. And so we need to customize and meet people where they're at, whether that's in their homes or whether that's through program delivery at one of our locations. So
I also noticed that you have some workshops that you hold. What type of workshops do you put on?
yeah, that's a great question. So the workshops we can offer are really, they can be as basic as kind of, I'll just say, tongue in cheek a little bit, but autism 101, so to speak. But they can really range from topics that can be really customized for either teachers. So for example, we have like really, kind of building foundations for learning, which is, supporting autistic students in the classroom. And that might be geared towards like pre-K through grade 6, right? So elementary school, as we would call it. We could look at supporting communications, which would be, just communicating either with autistic students in the classroom, or also it could be as broad as workshops for employers around communicating with neurodivergent or autistic employees in the workplace. So they can really be customized. A lot of our workshops can focus for classroom support to teachers. So our Alberta strike right now is has dried up a little bit of that PD funding for individuals, and then we can also offer customized workshops for even, we did one for the Alberta Dental Association last year at their annual meeting, where we customized a workshop for dentists that wanted to create a more welcoming environment for patients at their offices. And sometimes it's as simple as, you can imagine the dentist, it can be a bit of a sensory nightmare. No disrespect to dentists, but you've got bright lights, you've got to lay on your back usually. You've got strange noises, strange smells. It really is kind of a sensory nightmare, even for a neurotypical individual. And many neurotypical individuals have fears around the dentist, or at least don't find it discomfort, right? And so you can imagine how that would be taken maybe for someone that is neurodivergent or autistic. And so working with the dentist, we were able to provide a workshop that was really amazing to those individuals. So
That's awesome. Yeah. When I go to the dentist, I also have that issue as well. So
yeah,
I can understand.
yeah, so you can appreciate those comments probably.
And if someone wanted to join in on a workshop, how would they be able to get in contact?
So our workshops are listed on our website, but they can definitely fire us an email at our info general inbox. I will dig that up, and also. We do have one person in our professional services area, Catherine Desmond, that really leads all of our workshops and kind of siphons through all the requests that we get. There is high demand, because this is definitely an area where people want to learn. I feel people really want to learn more information about autism right now. I mean, it is definitely, I would say, in the media, so to speak, and a lot of individuals, workplaces, as well as organizations, just want to learn more. So yeah, so they can contact us through email, or reach out to Catherine Desmond, and I can provide that email at the end if we're interested. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And are there any restrictions to the services at CFASA, such as age, caregivers, or family members only, things of that nature?
So we can't be everything to everyone, and that's for sure. And so there, some of our programs absolutely do have some age boundaries. So we can't provide services. Our funding doesn't allow us to provide services to anyone that's less than 2 years of age. And there is a specific cutoff. It's like 2 years and I think 9 months, if I'm not mistaken, to enter our pre-kindergarten program. Some of our programs are certainly geared towards those that require, I would say, more supports. And so, but not all of ours are, right. So we can definitely customize things for individuals that are anywhere along the supports, particularly our fee-for-service programs. But some of our programs are PDD funded, so that is persons with developmental disabilities, and that's a government funding source. And so that's for those. Some of those programs are for 18 plus, and then other programs are FSCD funded, and so there's FECD funding north and south, and so those are also government funded programs. But a lot of our programs, regardless of whether they're government funded through that families receive, they have to apply for the funding, and I'm sure it's the same throughout provinces. There's some kind of system that is in place for those that require that funding to obtain that funding. Once they obtain that funding, we're basically the service provider, and so that's a flow through for us to provide services. But even if they don't have funding, many of our programs also have a fee-for-service price if you don't have that subsidized funding. And I find, to be honest, having two kids myself, both that are neurodivergent themselves, I find that the prices actually even are for a fee-for-service if there's not funding. There's definitely, lower. It's really just to recoup our costs. And so I even looked at our summer respite or formerly summer camps. That when I look at what we're charging for our recreational programs, our camps, I find them quite competitive as far as what the city camps might charge or the university camps might charge. So it's quite accessible, I find, and I feel like there is something for everyone here. But even if we can't provide the program that they're interested in, we're really attuned to other service agencies throughout Alberta that we can refer people to. My philosophy and the philosophy of my team is if people have had the courage to reach out for support, let's really help them navigate what can be a very complex system. And let's refer them to other agencies that can provide what they need. It can be particularly challenging for families when you combine factors in like their first language might not be English. They might be newcomers to either Alberta or to Canada in general, and navigating a complex system can be challenging. So I really have the philosophy, and my team does, that people shouldn't fall through the cracks, and whatever we can do to help, even if we're not the service provider for them, we can refer them to others that can provide meet their needs.
And without using any names, can you share a success story with me? What supports were put in place when someone asked for help?
That's a great question, because there's so many success stories I hear every day here, and this place in a very short period of time has made me laugh, cry, just on so many levels. And it's an amazing place. And but I think Jordan sticks out. Jordan, and I'll just use the first name. Jordan was spoke at our Bright Night for Autism Gala, our first gala back in June. Jordan came to us as non-speaking, non-verbal as a very young boy, and had stuck with us for I think over a decade in various programs throughout his lifespan. And as many do, came to us non-speaking, non-verbal, and in June he stood up as a young man and addressed over 250 strangers, mostly in the room at one of our largest complexes here for conferences and special events. And so I look at that, and Jordan is just a microcosm of and a shining example of when people are supported in the way that they truly deserve in life for whatever their divergency might be. In Jordan's case, it's autism, but when they're supported, people can flourish. And that was just like, there's so many people that would, even neurotypical people that would never address 250 people in the bright lights and on a stage. And he just knocked it out of the park, and he stole the show. I mean, it made my comments as CEO totally irrelevant. so he was a tough act for anyone to follow, and it was just a shining example of the work that we do here, and that happens each and every day. And everyone's journey is truly different here, but truly special. And just yeah, it's amazing to see, the shifts, and in usually a very short period of time as well, in our kiddos, in our early childhood services programs, but also in our youth, teen, and adults throughout their journeys, whatever that starting point might be and whatever that end goal might be for them.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. And good for Jordan, because I also probably wouldn't be able to do that either.
Right? I know. I know. Yeah.
And what is the one thing you see happening over and over again to individuals with disabilities that shouldn't be, and how do we stop it?
That's a great question. I'm a forever optimist, Paige. I'm a forever optimist, and I know that about myself. And so I feel biggest thing is just around social acceptance. I would love to see just more individuals just embrace neurodiversity as a whole, and for autistic individuals, particularly those that can't mask, right? They can't maybe mask their stimming, or they can't mask some of their behaviors that neurotypical individuals, might find either offensive, or whatever it might be, or odd, So I just feel like that social acceptance, we have a long way to go, and we can help with that, and I think others can help with that, But it's a great question, and it's a journey of society, really, and systems. Our systems are Many of our systems, our health system, our education system, our post-secondary system, they're very much set up, a neurotypical individual, and often, quite frankly, privileged individuals, and so I think that's what I would love to see. I say that as recognizing my own privilege in this space, as well, and so I think we have a long way to go there as individuals, and as society, and I just like to see others from all walks, no matter whether it's private sector, public sector, restaurant owners, the list goes on and on and on. Just embrace neurodiversity, and treat people with respect, dignity, and honor in the way that they deserve to be treated, no matter where they are.
I agree. We do still have a long way to go for everyone to like everyone, right?
Yeah.
And are there any events coming up for CFASA?
I mean, we're busy prepping for our next annual general meeting, but that's to our membership, which is those that have accessed our services and supports. We're working on. We don't have a date set yet, but we're working on a special event, like one of our runs. We're doing a run to raise awareness for autism, and that will be in the city of Edmonton. Yet to be determined, but and then we always have special events for our families. I mean, we have Halloween right around the corner, and I know we have literally three upcoming events, just for our families. A lot of our events do focus on our families. We try to take care of our families first, and use our resources as most efficiently to serve our families as a whole. Not just the individual that we might be providing service delivery to, but so we have a lot of special events happening throughout the year, actually, to recognize those families and to embrace them. But we do have virtual sessions, and those can all be found on our website as well, where we have virtual sessions for teens. We call them teen social nights, and various other social nights, to make sure that people don't feel alone in this journey, wherever they are on that journey. We don't want people to feel like they're by themselves. And so when we connect individuals that have similar but different stories on their own journeys, we can combat things like, loneliness, like feeling like we're on this journey by ourselves as parents, caregivers, or guardians. And so there's always special events around that that can be tapped into as well. So,
And if someone wanted to become a member or volunteer with CFA-SA, what is the process for joining as a member or volunteer?
so a member is considered, and that's anyone, a member, like, so for our AGM that we're just about to send notice on, that is anyone that has received any services or joined any programs from us in the last 2 years. But as volunteers, so we do have, I should have mentioned, we have over 200 employees province-wide, concentrated in Edmonton and Calgary. And then we also have over about 150 volunteers throughout the province, again, concentrated heavily in Edmonton and Calgary, but elsewhere as well. To become a volunteer, we do focus, because we're working with a vulnerable sector, we do focus on our volunteers that and have preference for volunteers that are looking to join one of those professional careers I mentioned, and whether that's speech language pathology, occupational therapy, psychology, educator, maybe social work as well. But so our volunteers are, anyone can join to be a volunteer. How we select them is dependent on need as well as what their journey is. So we don't just accept anyone off the street to volunteer. I wish we could, but we have to also recognize that we're providing a very specialized service to those that we serve, and so it makes our volunteer a little bit more restrictive than some not-for-profits, but that's very intentional to for safety reasons, but also to make sure that our those that we're serving are getting the best care that they deserve, quite frankly. So.
And what is the one thing that everyone needs to know about CFASA?
That we're the best kept secret. When I started here back in January, I felt like no one knew about us. And I was like, how does no one know about us? We're like one of the largest service providers in Alberta for autism, and just doing amazing work. So I think we're still quite under the radar, and I'm trying to change that, of course, getting out in community and rarely say no to any kind of community engagement where I can spread the good word about the magic that we do. So I feel like the most important thing is just to learn more. Visit us at our website, Center for Autism, ab.ca, and browse the wide range of services for children, youth, adults, and families and professionals, workplaces even. So, and just learn more, dig in a bit, because there is information available by age group and area of support. And I think you'll find it's such a rich organization. And once again, though, if we feel that we can't provide the services that individuals need, we have the philosophy to make sure that we refer to other agencies so people aren't starting from square one. And that's a big culture that we have here, is that we truly want to help others, because a lot of us within these walls know some of the challenges that families and caregivers and guardians and individuals that with autism are experiencing. And so if they've had the courage to reach out to us, we want to connect them to others if we can't be their service provider. So
unfortunately, we are running out of time, but for our last questions for today, if listeners are looking for more information, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so the best is to check out our website at Center for Autism, ab.ca, or they can also contact us through our website. We have a both email that is monitored all the time at info@centerforautismab.ca, and we also have a local and a toll-free phone number there as well that individuals can call. So yeah, many ways to reach out and connect, and I would just totally encourage people to do that, and we're happy to help navigate what is a complex journey. And our toll-free number, because I know we are kind of on the air, is 1-844-488-6600.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming today.
Thanks so much for having me, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
That is all of the time we have today for Community Partners. I'm your host, Paige. You've been listening to Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time.